The NBA is just the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, this trade deadline went from 0 to 1 million in about a day. So it came out yesterday, and I made a video on this saying that the Clippers that James Harden wanted out of Los Angeles. And we thought we were going to get this trade early last night, like midnight West Coast time, 3 a.m., because they made it sound like it was almost done. Well, today we got the trade. This is the last trade that has happened since everything has went down today. So we're just going to go in reverse order. I do want to apologize for no webcam. Normally I'd have a webcam and all this stuff, but my green screen last night when I was setting up to possibly record a James Harden trade, the legs decided to snap off. So shout out to the company because they're going to send me a new green screen. But yeah, not the best timing, so you guys are just going to have to live with images for right now, and hopefully I'll have a green screen either tomorrow or by the deadline. So, the Los Angeles Clippers are trading James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. This is interesting for the Cavs. The Cavs are seeming not that confident that if they do not make it at least to the finals this year, that Donovan Mitchell will re-sign his contract. And with Darius Garland consistently being hurt and Donovan Mitchell having to carry the team to victories, this makes sense for them. James Harden is going to be the point guard. He's going to take a lot of pressure off Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell's going to do the same for Harden. Harden's going to be the guy, go at his pace, go at his speed, go at his tempo, have the ball in his hands, pass. Mitchell's going to be like that cutting, slashing threat where like it's going to be really hard to guard the duo of those two. However, the downside is the defense. Now, if the Cavs make no more moves and they do not trade Jarrett Allen or Evan Mobley, I think they'll be okay. I don't think the defense will be that big of a deal because you have a defensive player of the year, the current defensive player of the year in Evan Mobley back there, and you have Jarrett Allen. Both of those guys can block shots and wreck teams from getting into the paint. So I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, but that's only if the Cavs do not make any moves, and they are currently rumored to try to get Giannis. So they are really working, and the league is just wild right now. The side for the Clippers, I guess, is my concern is, what are we doing? I get, like, you didn't want to offer Harden, or you didn't want to give Harden the contract extension that he wanted, because you want cap space for 2027 when, like, Donovan Mitchell, possibly Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, all these guys are available. But, like, your turnaround this year has been a miracle. You are playing some of the best basketball. Their defense has been really good over the last 10 games. Harden was saying, I think a week or two ago on ESPN, about how grateful he was to play in Los Angeles for his hometown team and how he was so thankful and all this stuff. And then a week or two later, it comes out that Harden wants out. So I don't really know what's going to happen with the Clippers. They don't own their first-round pick. Currently, I think they're the 9th or 10th seed in the West. Darius Garland's toes are horrible. That sounds crazy, but his feet, like, his one toe's bad, his other toe's bad. He's at least out past All-Star because of his toes. Yo, this is wild that I have to cover a man's toes. But yeah, you get the point. I mean, he has turf toe. It's not looking good. I mean, he's missed most of the season because of this, and I think he missed some of the playoffs last year because of it as well. It's just it's very concerning if I'm a Clippers fan. You don't earn your first round pick. If I'm them, I might trade Kawhi at this point. Try to get the value I can for him because I think teams would jump all over it if Kawhi became available. And I would start your rebuild/retool. If you want all the cap space in 27, you might as well start now. I know Clippers fans are going to be like, well, we don't want to do that. We're winning. It's like, yeah, but you just lost Harden. Like, I'm surprised they're not having a fire sale. I don't really know what's going to happen with the Clippers. It's concerning to me. I kind of like the Darius Garland fit. I don't think he fits well with their defense. They already struggle on defense. Like, the beginning part of the season, they were awful defensively. And Darius Garland just adds to that problem. I mean, he's a smaller guard. Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat just went at him all playoffs last year and destroyed them. So, I mean, it's very concerning. I don't know if I like the fit or I don't like the fit. It'll definitely be interesting. It really depends when Garland comes back. It is also very interesting that the Cavs had to give up a second-round pick in order to acquire Harden, even though Harden is the guy on the expiring contract and has a no-trade clause and has a mutual option after this year. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if the Cavs are planning to re-sign Harden. There's really been nothing on that front. We'll see if Harden even wants to play. I mean, originally it looked like he wanted to go to Atlanta and just go to the strip clubs all day. So who knows what happens with Harden. But yeah, that's the Clippers and the Cavs piece of this video. We still have like 4 more trades to get to. All right, so my Boston Celtics, they made a move today. They are trading for a Chicago Bulls center Nikola Vucevic and a second-round pick to the Celtics for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. I already recorded this once, and then I thought Giannis got traded. But, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on right now in the NBA as I'm recording this video at 11 p.m. at night, which you guys will see after midnight. So, for my Celtics, I was not a fan of this move at first. However, doing more research and understanding that Vucevic is the 10th best rebounding center in the NBA, he's a 38% three-point shooter. He's very good at like these like pass backs at the top of the key where he hits the three. The Celtics needed center depth. They needed it desperately. They've done an amazing, and I mean an absolute miracle job of turning Luka Garza and Neemias Queta, blanked on his name there for a second, into just, I mean, usable, very, very usable, like plus pieces off starting and off their bench. But they desperately needed center depth. I mean, in the playoffs, you're not going to get away with 2 minimum guys. And I don't know if Vucevic helps defensively, but I think the Celtics, if they get Jason Tatum back, they have Jalen, they have D. White, you know, you have Peyton Pritchard, you have Jordan Walsh, you have Hugo Gonzalez. I think they can make up for Vucevic's defensive lapses. Now, the Celtics absorbed Nikola Vucevic. I'm going to have to learn how to say his name correctly. In the Kristaps Porzingis TPE, which I think was around $20 to $25 million, which now will create an Anthony Simons TPE, which will be worth about $28 million. For the Celtics, this gives them tax relief. They duck below the second apron, which helps. They duck below the first apron, I should say, and now they are just in the luxury tax, giving them financial flexibility this offseason. You know, So the Celtics can make another move here. They can also sign anyone who gets bought out for $15 or more. Or I think it's actually less. $15 or less, they can sign anyone. So say the Mike Conleys of the world, who is projected to get bought out, gets bought out. The Celtics are allowed to sign him once he clears waivers, which is awesome. For the Bulls, I love this trade for the Bulls. I like it for the Celtics. It's cool. But I think the Celtics have to make another move. For the Bulls, they're finally doing what Bulls fans, and I know Bulls fans, shout out Slimmy Shank, have been begging them to do for like 3 years now. They are tearing it down. They are blowing it up. They're getting draft assets. They're helping orchestrate bigger deals to get other things. I mean, this team has been amazing. There's another Bulls trade later, which I honestly could just cover right here, but, I mean, you basically, this second-round pick that the Celtics have given the Bulls is either from 31 or 34. No, 35. So it's a really late first because it's a best-of swap. It's a most favorable swap of, you know, New Orleans and those picks. It's like a bunch of teams. But basically, New Orleans, if they win, the farthest New Orleans can drop down is 4. So, you know, for the Bulls, it's 31 to 35. It's basically a late first-round pick, which what they wanted for Vucevic. And they get a guard in Anthony Simons, who sacrificed greatly in Boston, but however, turned into an amazing player. Anthony Simons now is an all-around player. I mean, he went on Old Man in the 3 and D. White's podcast and was talking about how in minicamp, they did a war zone defensive drill where Joe Mazzulla had them guard wall to wall, one-on-one for 10 minutes straight with bombs and machine guns and airplanes flying overhead through their speakers. And he was just screaming at them. And Simons had to do it for like 15 minutes because Joe just kept making him do it. So Anthony Simons has learned so much as a Boston Celtic in the short time he was. And I honestly think he's going to be huge for the Bulls. I don't know. I'm assuming he's going to come off the bench, maybe start next to Giddey. But, I mean, I think he's going to be great. The Bulls obviously now have an abundance of guards because they did acquire another guard, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But I think he's going to be a fantastic, and I mean fantastic addition for the Bulls. And I think he'll get a monster contract this offseason. They also get something for Vucevic, and the Celtics get something for Simons. So, I mean, it's overall, I think it's a great move for both teams. I'm still undecided. We'll see how Vucevic plays. This deal could still expand. It is not going to be official right away. The Celtics and Bulls are both looking to see if they can add maybe a third team to the deal or something else. So, I mean, it's fantastic, I think, for both sides. And, you know, the Bulls continue to make moves. All right, the Bulls' next trade. I mean, the Bulls just killed it today. It's a three-teamer. Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit have agreed to a multi-team deal that sends Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley to the Bulls, and Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric to the Pistons, which the Bulls acquired the other day. Detroit also receives a 2026 first-round protected swap from Minnesota. This is interesting. I love this for the Bulls. The Bulls get Jaden Ivey, who is a younger guard, who has had a hard time after coming off of a broken leg last year where he missed the entire year, and the horrible coaching by the Suns ex-coach, Monty Williams. I mean, he's just had a hard time. His role's been up and down. He's never really had a defined role. Last year, he was killing it. I think he played about 25 to 30 games and then broke his leg. And he came back this year, and the Pistons found their groove last year. So for him, it's just been hard to find a role on that Pistons team, find consistent minutes, and I think the Bulls give him that. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He'll be an RFA. So for Detroit, they're like, we're not getting into this bidding war. We like what we have in our core. He's not really in our core anymore, so we're going to move him. For them, it does suck not to get a first-round pick / an actual first-round pick. This is heavily protected. It's probably just going to turn into 2 seconds, personally. So it kind of sucks for Detroit. You wish you could have got more for Jaden Ivey, but it makes sense. The Bulls are doing, again, what everyone has been begging them to do for so long now, and that is just rebuild. I mean, this team had to tear it down. They're finally doing it. They're going to buy out Mike Conley or trade him. We'll see. Probably buying him out. He's on a 1-year deal, so they're probably going to buy him out, and Mike Conley's going to go to a contender. Because I'd love to see Mike Conley try to win a ring this year. The Bulls send out Kevin Huerter, who had a great stint in Chicago. I think he was in Chicago for a year, maybe a year and a half. I think he got traded at last year's trade deadline. So for the Pistons, they get a really good shooter in Kevin Huerter, and the Pistons are always going to need shooting. I mean, their young core does not shoot the ball from three great. I mean, it's really just Cade who can shoot the ball from three and Duncan Robinson. Other than that, you're kind of willing to live with whoever, and Kevin Huerter gives them another 40% three-point shooter or 38% three-point shooter. So that's just huge for them. And then Dario Saric, he got traded in the Cleveland deal and, that whole thing to the Bulls, and the Bulls flip him, send him to Detroit. So he's some extra big depth / power forward depth for Detroit. I mean, I like it. I think for Minnesota, obviously, they are trying to clear up cap space for Giannis. We're kind of just waiting on that. There's rumors flying like no tomorrow about Giannis. I covered that earlier in the video, but it's just they had the opportunity to possibly take. They were offered Kobe White, it sounds like, in that deal, and they said no. They want the cap space to acquire and try to make a multi-team deal for Giannis. So that helps them, and that gets them, I think, underneath the apron or pretty close to it. I mean, it is what it is. For them, it was for Minnesota, it was a salary dump. But yeah, I like this deal, especially for Chicago. I like it for Detroit. It'll be interesting to see if Detroit keeps Dario Saric and like what implication that has, because I don't think Dario Saric has played that much this year. So again, it's a deal. I think Minnesota is really locking in on Giannis and trying to acquire Giannis. For the Bulls, they do it. Bulls fans have been begging and actually doing good trades and tearing this whole thing down and getting some young talent, young athletic talent to go with Josh Giddey and Matas Buzelis. And then, yeah, I don't know what else. I think the next trade is like the big one of the day. I mean, this trade, the next one that I'm going to cover is just the biggest trade of the day. It absolutely came out of left field. Now, here's what I would consider, the blockbuster of the day for me. I get James Harden's an all-star, but James Harden was expected. That kind of happened last night. We all kind of accepted that was happening. But this one came out of, left field. This was a left haymaker to the face. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading star forward Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walton Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. Now, for Memphis, this is essentially a salary dump. They wanted the picks. Walter Clayton Jr. could be a guy for them, but everyone else, it's like, okay, like Kyle Anderson, like, okay, cool. He just kind of gets passed around the NBA like a girl. And then Georges Niang has been traded, I want to say 3 times, maybe 4 times in the last year. So I think Taylor Hendricks and Walter Clayton Jr. could honestly turn into something for the Memphis Grizzlies, but it was mainly for the picks. Memphis has decided, since their window has closed, they know it, which credit to them. They are doing what every single team should do. They know their window is closed. All right, let's get value for our guys, and let's trade them while they have value, because you get 3 first-round picks. You now are tied with OKC and Brooklyn for the most first-round picks over the next 7 years. I think they have 10 or 12 of them, so it's just great. They're probably trading Ja Morant. Actually, we know Ja Morant is next, if not at this deadline, in the offseason. So they're embracing the rebuild once again. They had that one good year, not that long ago, where they were 3rd in the West, and they were a grit and grind team that would get underneath your skin. I remember the one game, I think I saw a highlight today on Twitter of Braun getting pissed at them because they were just talking shit. It's a deal that needed to happen. Memphis understood it had to happen. And for Utah, this was the most shocking thing of, the day. Because I read this and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I truly did not expect Jaren Jackson Jr. to, 1, get traded. I kind of expected. I thought he might get traded. But for 2, not to go to a title contender and go to the freaking Utah Jazz, who I want to say, and I'm going to check here live as I'm recording, they are, I want to say, like, the 12th team in the West with, like, 14 wins? This team isn't good as I live check here. They are the 13th team in the West with 16 wins. And they're 2-8 in their last 10. So, I guess credit to Danny Ainge and Austin Ainge. Shout out Austin Ainge, by the way. He was with the Celtics for a very long time. They have decided to go buy. And this is what Utah has done over the years. They've given up on kind of getting that number 1 pick. You can't just sit there anymore and wait 7 years for you to get that number 1 pick so you can get a superstar. And Utah isn't a destination where guys are going to just willingly go. So I think Utah was smart. This is how they acquired Rudy. I'm pretty sure this is how they acquired Donovan Mitchell. No, Donovan Mitchell was drafted to Utah, but they've acquired multiple players like this, and you have now a lineup of Walker Kessler, you have Jaren Jackson Jr., and you have Lauri Markkanen, and all those guys are 7 feet. And honestly, Jaren should get back to DPOI status. He won that DPOI just off him roaming and just blocking shots. Not him so much guarding your best player. He would guard the worst shooter on a team and just roam and not let teams score easy buckets. I think it's gonna be fantastic for them. All those guys are 7 feet tall. Walker Kessler obviously is a great defensive big, but his passing ability and his ability to rebound, which Jaren Jackson struggles with at 7 feet, is just going to be amazing. And then again, you have the Keontae Georges of the world and like the Isaiah Colliers, who absolutely went off tonight. I think he had, I want to say he had like 17 or 18 assists. And I mean, you just have some of these younger guys where you feel like you can build around a little bit. I mean, you're getting like a Vince Williams Jr. who had a really good first few years for like the Memphis Grizzlies. And if you can develop him into something, that could be another piece. You obviously have your top 6 or top 8 protected first round pick this year. So that also could be a piece if you're able to kind of lose enough to where you stay in the top 8 range where you can keep that pick, you could have a rookie coming in. I mean, Utah is starting to look like a formidable team in the West. And I honestly think that them trading these 3 first-round picks, with one of them being the 2027 one, that is their own, and I think it's heavily protected, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it was a really good trade by the Jazz. The other 2 is like a Phoenix and a Lakers pick. I mean, I just think this is a fantastic move. And I truly do think that Utah next year will be one of those teams in the West that I think could be playing for a play-in spot or be a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. I overall just love the move. That is going to do it for today. The NBA is just wild. I mean, I said in the beginning of the video, we went from 0 to 1,000 in like no time. I am expecting a Giannis trade to happen here soon. So who knows? I could upload this video and Giannis could get traded, and then I don't even know if you'll see this video. But make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys turn on the bell. Make sure you guys leave a comment, leave a like. It takes 1 second. It helps a lot. Make sure you hype up the video. That really helps. I will have you covered if Giannis gets traded in all trade deadline, not long, for the next 36 hours. We upload daily shorts today. I think I uploaded 2 or 3 just on trades. I'm going to go make another one right now about, I'm pretty sure Isaiah Collier, because he had an insane night tonight. Austin Reeves was back. I mean, the NBA is just amazing. I don't know what else to say. I love basketball. I will see you guys tomorrow when we get some more big trades.